to Miss Spells.
We're the directors, producers, filmers, anchors, and reporters for VTTV's newest sports show, The Sports Zone.
The Sports Zone isn't just like any average sports show. We have different segments. You never know what you're going to get. We'll hear from VT students on their opinions on different sports issues of today. And then we'll have debates. And you just might see your favorite Virginia Tech athlete on the show, as we'll have special guests. So let's get started with today's show. We're going first to our VT students and getting their opinions on different sports issues.
First question for the students is going to be, should student athletes get paid?
You're in the sports zone.
Because they provide so much money for the university that I think that they should get at least a little bit back.
I don't think they should be paid because for the most part they're getting a tuition and schooling out of this, and it's prepping them in an education for professional athleticism. So
no, I don't think collegiate athletes should be paid. They're going to school just like the rest of us athletes, and if they're good enough then they can go professional and get paid, but for right now they shouldn't be paid.
Like all they do is get tutoring and free gear, like that's bullshit. They should definitely get paid.
No, because they get scholarships and a bunch of free stuff.
I mean, like, they're not, like, real, like, they're not, like, professional athletes, so it's not their job. They're, like, for school is their job.
Okay. We want to thank all of the students that participated and answered the question, and we respect everyone's opinion, but we also have our own.
A lot of them disagree with what they said. First of all, I agree with what the first guy said. Yes, the athletes make money for the university.
I mean, I agree with the first guy said as well. I mean, they do make a lot of money for the university, and they can't, you know, get anything off of that. Like, well, I will talk about it as we talk more about, like, what everyone else said. But just, if we're going to go point by point with just what he says, I'm going to say I agree with him 100%. They do bring a lot of money into the university.
I agree as well. Now, the first girl that we had on the segment said no, they shouldn't get paid. She said that tuition is part of what they receive. I agree with that to a point because they do get paid a lot in tuition. I have to pay for tuition, it sucks. But they're making more money than they're getting paid. Johnny Manziel last year made $37 million for his school. I think tuition, he's in-state. Tuition is going to cost him probably $100,000 for the entire 4 years that he's going to stay there. Actually, he's probably not going to stay for 4 years, but if he were to stay for 4 years.
Right. I mean, I agree with you 100% on that one. Like, she did say, you know, they get tuition and they get scholarship, and I'm just like, okay, as they should, because, you know, they're not coming, this may not have been their choice school if it was just solely going off the principle of academics. Like, you know, you hear people say, you know, why did you come to Tech? First of all, some students say I came for football, and, you know, they're not even playing. So, I mean, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
But then, like, the people who actually came, like, oh, because, you know, they have a good engineering program, or they're ranked 15th in business, or what have you. So I'm just like, that's not their reason for coming here. So we can't base it off of, you know, they wouldn't pay tuition solely for academics like we do. So we can't, like, hold them to that, you know.
Yeah, they're here because they were recruited to be here.
Right. And so I agree. She also said we're prepping them for education in professional athleticism.
What is professional athleticism? You don't take classes for professional athleticism. You play on the field for professional athleticism.
And that's aside from the academics. That's extracurricular. That's not in the curriculum. So, I mean, it's not like they go into class and then Bud Foster's a professor in the university, and, you know, they can just take the class and it's like, okay, today on how to be a professional athlete, today in class we're going to talk about, you know, running the football. Like, that's not a part. They're not getting an A, B, C, D, or F for that. You know, that's outside of the curriculum. So
it's estimated that the college athletes spend 44 hours a week outside of any schoolwork just doing sports things. That's a full-time job with addition to all the classes they have to take and all the homework they have to do. So last, I want to talk about the last two girls in the clip. Like, okay, first of all, one of them said they're not real athletes. How are they not real athletes? In college, that age is the most athletic time of your life. Those players can lift and do everything that all the professionals can do. They just don't have as much experience to back them up.
I mean, even if they couldn't do everything that the professional athletes can do, they're they're athletes at Virginia Tech. Like, you can't take that from
I'm
them.
an athlete. I'm a real athlete. Do I play professional sport? No. But I'm still a real athlete.
Wait, too. Are you on the sports team?
Well, no, but that's because I work out, because I lift, that makes me an athlete. If you have a body, as Nike says, if you have a body, you're an athlete.
Well, Nike wants to get your money. But, you know, okay, I just feel like, you know, if you're actually an athlete on a roster for a sports team at a university, at a high school, you're an athlete. Like, even if you're not, you work at the craft, okay? Like you said, if you work at the craft, you're an athlete. I don't know what, I mean, they're not real athletes, like, really.
What's a real athlete?
You let us know next time. Okay, so given the controversy, I was going to say recent, but I mean, it's been going on for a while, but it's, you know, back up again. The controversy over the Redskins name, and for those of you who don't know, Redskins is a derogatory term referencing Native Americans. So Native Americans are offended by the term and have been pushing for this name to be changed. And, you know, we asked students, so the next question we asked students were, the next question we asked students was, should the Redskins name be changed?
It could be a little offensive, but it's been here for years, so I mean, people are too sensitive, point blank period.
Unless the people leading the protest are people of Native American descent, I don't think it's really that big a deal.
Being called the Redskins, that's just, you know, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit racist, but I don't think they're meaning to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so offensive to so many people. I mean, obviously it has a ton of tradition with, like, their fans, but, I mean, it's so offensive.
It's not really used as a racial slur anymore, and it's just a sports team now.
You wouldn't want to go to a stadium and listen to the Washington Tar Babies, so why on earth would you want to go see the Washington Redskins?
I think it's kind of a tribute. It's just me, but I really don't think it's like anything offensive. I think it's a representative. If we got rid of it, we'd lose it.
If it were the Tar Babies, then yeah, it should be changed. But the Redskins, no.
Okay. Playing for like how long the NFL's been around, so they should stop being babies and suck it up.
We're in the sports zone.
So a lot of responses that we got were, people are too sensitive, suck it up, whatever. No, it's not being too sensitive. If you're being called a racial term, it's not okay in any circumstances. It's not okay to have it as the mascot and the name of the team of the national capital.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like the first girl we looked at, she said, you know, people are too sensitive. You know, her point was like, it's tradition, as a lot of people's believe, you know, it's tradition and they're being too sensitive. But yet being a minority, like, if it was called the black skins or if it was called any other derogatory term, a lot of the people that we asked were like, oh no, it would definitely have to be changed. So like, what makes it different for it being a Native American? Like, is that just saying one race is better than the next? And actually it is, because that's what racism is, in case we forgot.
The racism against Native Americans has also gone back years and years from when white people just came over and took their land. And one of the leaders in the fight against the Native Redskins, Susan Hajero, who's a Native American herself, says that it is the most derogatory term people can use to refer to a Native people. So clearly it's pretty much like using the N-word as the name of your team. That's not okay, and I don't understand how people can think it's okay. Redskins have had a history of racism. It wasn't until 1962 that they integrated their football team because the federal government had to force them to. That's how racist the Redskins program is.
And let's not forget that the nation's capital, where I'm from, it's a great place to be, it was actually referenced, you know, it was called the Chocolate City. So it's like, it's a black people's city. So like, you know, just having a derogatory, offensive term for the team is just like, I don't know, it's not a good look. And I feel like, I mean, it's a very tough question. As people have responded, like, it was just hard for them to make, you know, state their opinion, because, you know, when you know something is wrong and you know.
It's like they know something's wrong, but they don't care.
I think it was, she was the third girl who said, like, it's not used as a racial term anymore.
It still is.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's not maybe not popular where you are, and it may not be a lot of Native Americans where you are, and that's why you don't really, you're more impartial about the topic. But Native Americans exist; they're around, and I don't think they're like, they take away being called risk. Well, obviously they don't, or they wouldn't be fighting against this. But yeah,
I would also like to point out one guy said that it is a tribute to the Redskins. No, it is a tribute to racism, and it is a tribute to the sort of attack. What is it called? The demolition of their culture, their nation, everything that they had before white people decided to come to America.
And she is white, for the record. She's white. So yeah, I definitely agree with you though about the tribute. It's not a tribute. Like if they don't find, you can't tell them that this is a tribute to you if they don't find it,
as a tribute. They don't see it as a tribute.
Yeah, if they're not on about it, then it's not a tribute. It's just an offense. So, let's stop being babies and suck it up. We talked about that. I'm just going to say oppressor. You cannot tell somebody to stop being a baby and suck it up. It's just look at the institutionalized racism in our country. That's not something you could just stop being a baby about and suck it up. I mean, that's
Would
just
you tell that to a slave? No.
But did you see that girl fall though?
She fell on her face. We slammed it into her face. Adrian McCarron steps back, throws, looks for a receiver.
Did you see Kyle jump up and swat the ball?
He got it.
I mean, best corner.
Good downfield.
Carden throws it. Fire! Brandon! Yes!
Get it, Brandon. So DJ, in the middle of practice, just decides not to catch the ball?
I mean, it is practice, but catch the ball, DJ. Okay, he looks like he's going somewhere. He looks like, oh no!
He fell!
And then he fell on his face. You need to work on that. He's go. Oh! She fell on her face.
Fast break over.
Hi, my name is Adrian Young, and I'm the host of this segment of the show, Show Me the Numbers. During this segment, Tamia and Rachel will debate certain sports issues. Winner will be determined by a stat at the end of each discussion. First topic for today will be the Virginia Tech versus Georgia Tech. Who will be the winner?
Because Georgia Tech is #1 in points against. They've only allowed 14 points this entire season. You know what Virginia Tech's really bad at? Offense. They can't score.
Well, this is where I'm just going to stop you. Georgia Tech has only played in 2 games. Like, how much experience do they have this season?
We've only played in 1 more game.
I mean, still, we have that experience. One more game is 1 more game of experience. What are you saying? I mean, have you heard of Virginia Tech's defense? You said we had an offense, but have you heard of their defense?
Have you heard of Georgia Tech's defense?
Georgia Tech, wait. What is Georgia Tech's defense?
They're #1 in not allowing points.
Okay.
First of all, Georgia Tech has a good defense. They have a great offense. They're 3rd in the nation in scoring. And Virginia Tech sucks at offense.
Okay, I'm just going to leave it at this here. First of all, under the last game, who did they play? Duke. Georgia Tech played Duke.
Yes.
110 of their 137 plays have been running plays. They don't have any other options. I mean, they're just trying to get their option with their new wide receiver, who was a baseball player and just got into football.
At least they have an option on offense.
Hello, have you heard of Bud Foster? Wait, have you heard of this being the defensive back university? Have you heard of Cal Fuller? Have you heard of Kendall Fuller?
Have you heard of Logan Thomas? Have you heard of DJ Cole?
Oh my gosh.
Because I will tell you, neither of them are having a good season.
Not give you this.
Have you heard of our special teams? Because they've been playing horribly, and then Georgia Tech's going to be able to score off of that if they can't score offensively.
Georgia Tech special teams aren't that great. They're not no grand like special
teams. They are.
They're not Alabama. You're trying to hold them to an Alabama standard right now. Georgia Tech.
They beat a team 70-0.
What team was that?
Elon.
Okay.
You know how we did against ECU? We won by 5 points.
That was a struggle, and this game might be a struggle as well. But the thing is, we're going to come up on top. Like, I mean, the thing that they have going for that, you keep talking about like our offense, but how is Georgia Tech's offense? Like, I mean,
their offense is one of the best. They are 3rd in rushing rushing and third in points.
I mean, Logan Thomas is getting better.
Is line gonna stay good?
Our offensive line, they can't do anything but get stronger. Like, for them to be like, for us to have some young people on their team, like, I feel like they can't do anything but do, better. Like, they could have started off every
Okay, so I'm going to show you the numbers. So, I'm going to have to agree with Tamia on this. The Virginia Tech will take the game.
She's biased.
She's not biased.
Virginia Tech has won the game 3 years in a row. We have the number 2 defense in the country right now.
They have the number 1 against points.
Then you keep pulling up that one little stat. Like, we tied with second in interceptions. We tied with second in interceptions.
Georgia Tech doesn't throw the ball. That doesn't matter.
They will. I told you they have a new option with their wide receiver who was a baseball player. They're planning to throw the ball. And let me say something. Bud Foster, all he eats, he sleeps, he drinks, he dreams film. They have all of these different plays and stuff that Georgia Tech has, like the diamond formation, they had a pistol and all that stuff. Let me say something. Bud Foster's going to be all over that. All of our players are going to know. I think they're going to be writing it down like in their notepads, like during class.
I would like to point out that one of our stats is that we won the last 3 years. We won last year in overtime. Barely won.
So, what?
So.
We're in the business of getting wins, and that was a win.
Also,
we're going to get this
Georgia
win.
Tech is ranked higher than us right now. So they are expected to win. They're ranked 27th, and we're ranked 34th.
Okay. Well, all I'm going to say is the underdog is going to come out on top.
Who should be number 1 in the BCS?
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go ahead and say Alabama, since they are number 1. And since they had one person has voted so far for someone other than Alabama, and that was Oregon. So who are you arguing?
I mean, I wanted to go with Oregon, but I'm going with Clemson. I got to keep it in the ACC, and I feel like people sleep on Clemson. I just feel like everyone sleep and they need to wake up. Wait, but I did see the NC State game last night, and I was kind of like a little hurt because,
A little hurt?
I was just I was a little hurt, but what did I say? We're in the business of getting wins. The football team got the win, and that's all that matters.
I completely disagree with that. I think almost any football fan would agree that Alabama should be number 1. I mean, they're playing SEC teams. They already beat the only team that beat them last year, who was ranked 4th in the nation, Texas A&M, with Johnny Manziel.
But that couldn't stop Johnny Manziel.
What? They're in the business of getting wins. They got the win.
But wait, we're talking about number 1. They were not playing like the number 1 team.
Yeah, exactly. And Clemson played against the number 1 team against NC State.
I mean, but
NC State's horrible. Texas A&M is the top 14.
Everybody's not voting for Clemson like everybody's voting for Alabama. If they're giving it, I feel like they should be like untouchable. Virginia Tech almost knocked them off. Special teams. Like, I don't want to talk about.
Okay, it was 34-10.
Special teams. That was it. It was because our special teams.
Okay,
if our seniors were on special teams, like they volunteered to be afterwards, I don't think they would have had that.
But how good was our special teams last week when our seniors were on? We sucked.
How many seniors that were on special teams last week?
Well, see,
I still saw a lot of the same young guys.
I think Cody Jernell was there, and I think he missed 2 field goals.
He had a bad game. And I don't think Alabama should be number 1. They could not stop.
Everyone in college football agrees that Alabama should be number 1.
Everyone does not agree. Everyone does not agree that Alabama
should be number 1.
It's not one person.
Do you know in the USA Today poll, Clemson is ranked number 4? Not even number 3.
Because they had a bad game and they're going to come back.
To ESPN, the Crimson Tide is ranked number 1. So next topic. Will David Wilson have a successful season after his fumbles?
He will. Last year he struggled with fumbles the first game. He came back. He didn't have an amazing season because he didn't get a lot of carries because of Ahmad Bradshaw, but he did average 5 yards per carry, which is very impressive. Last game, he was the best running back the Giants had, despite the fact that their offensive line is doing horrible and they're barely running the ball. He's going to come back stronger. He's already looked stronger in the last game. Tom Coughlin's going to get over his fear and put David back in.
Okay, love David. But I'm going to have to say no, just because of the fact that the coach hates fumblers. Like, he doesn't trust David right now. If he gets over that, then that's a different topic. But right now, I'm going to say, like, he's not going to get up. He's not going to get over it. Like, also going on the offensive line, like, even when he do get out there, like, they don't open up, like they don't make holes so David can get through. So if he gets out there and they're not even like doing that for him, then it's gonna be like the whole like, is it like we have here, like, is it Logan Thomas' fault or is it the wide receiver's fault? It's gonna be like, oh, it's the people around him. So then it's gonna be like, oh well, you know, it's the people around him, the offensive line that's not letting him make it happen, and he's just not gonna be able to produce what, you know,
See, I disagree. I think he's going to come back and he's going to do strong. He already came back better last game. He got 7 carries, which is the exact same amount of carries that that Jacob Brandon had. He had 7 carries and he got 5 yards. David got 17 yards. Also, David has the support of his teammates. His quarterback and Victor Cruz have already said that they need him to be out there on the field. He has breakout, big highlight reel potential, and he's gonna come back. He had a rough start. He had a rough start last season, and he had an amazing game.
I mean, going off the support of their teammates, I mean, like, I feel like your teammates like have to support you. Hello, Riley Cooper called like a black person the N-word, and his black teammates, you know, stood up for him. Like,
some of them did.
The quarterback. If we going off the quarterback, if we going off the quarterback, and they said that the fight was something. They said that the fight was
a nice guy.
No. He could have. I'm sure he does not feel like, oh, you know.
Well, you saw what Marcus tweeted. That was his real opinion.
And we going off the strength of having the quarterback support. I feel like, you know, the quarterback is the leader of the team. They're going to give. But I honestly feel like, okay, that's really how he feels about David. You know, because David is a good player. But knowing your coach and knowing how he hates fumblers and knowing how he
hates fumblers, but he got over it last week, and he has no other option. He doesn't have
options, and that's why he's letting David get the reps that he get. But if he's a coach, he's the guy in charge. If he says like no, like I won't, because he's trusting right now. He's trusting Jacob more in the end. Like I feel like he's trusting Jacob more in the end zone. And if he pulls through, then that just might. You know, that trust might decline for David, and you know, increasing.
Jacob's a short play back. Let's stick it in the end zone back. He's not a every single play back, which is what David is, and which is why they're going to go back to him, which is why David's going to be successful.
Well, if David was an every single play back, then he wouldn't have been on the bench. I'm just saying. But
I mean, that's the type of running back.
I'm just saying.
He's going to come back. Show me the numbers.
I'm going to agree with Rachel on this.
What?
I'm going to have to agree with Rachel on this one. They need David Wilson, and the stats show that with his rookie season, he ran 358 yards on his 77 attempt and with 5 yards per carry. So they need him this season. Yeah, the winner of this segment of Show Me the Numbers is Rachel with 2 out of 3.
I'm just saying, see me next week. You know, This wasn't a good week for me. Holler at me next week. Rachel is going down. Right, Adrian?
It's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Thanks for watching our first episode of Sports Zone. Make sure to tune in every Monday.
And next Monday, definitely tune in because our special guest will be Trey Edmonds. And like we said, you never know what you're going to get on the show, so you never know what Trey's going to give us next week. Keep it classy, keep it real, and stay in the Sports Zone.